There are 6 things you should never write on your Capital One credit limit increase application. Capital One is known for being stingy. They're known for holding you back even after you've proven yourself to be a good borrower. These things are well documented, but you don't want to make your chances even worse by writing the wrong things on the application and preventing yourself from increasing your credit limits. We're going to look over the whole application question by question and discuss what answers you never want to give for each. And don't forget to grab your free credit limit increase cheat sheet so you can see all the strategies that I've found and continue to use to increase my credit limits consistently. Just hit the link below. So I just logged into my Capital One account and I have the Venture X card now, and I have a $23,000 credit limit attached to it. And so to get to your credit limit increase application, just go over to I want to, and then click on request credit line increase down here at the bottom. So the first thing is you never want to limit your income. This is the first question because it's the most important. The more that you limit that income, the lower of a credit limit increase they're going to ultimately give you. And that's going to also limit the maximum credit limit that they're going to extend to you as well. And usually a bank or credit card issuer is going to extend around 10% of your yearly income, a little bit more, a little bit less sometimes, depending on your credit profile. If we look deeper into this, you can see you can include some additional things. If you read deeper, you can see personal income, which is income you have earned, including full-time, part-time, or seasonal jobs, self-employment, and interest or dividends, retirement, and public assistance. So all of these things, that's side hustles. If you drive for Uber or if you deliver for DoorDash, then you can include that income right here in the box. You can also include shared income, which is money from somebody else that is regularly deposited into your individual account or into a joint account that a person shares with you. And that's only if you're over 21 years old. You may also include somebody else's income that is regularly used to pay your expenses. So this is a pretty loose definition. So if you're a stay-at-home mom or dad, if you share your mortgage or rent payment with a significant other or even a friend, or maybe a cousin, if they're giving you money to share those bills, or if they're sending you money to your account, they're Zelle paying you, or you have access to their checking savings account, then you can include their income into this box. It works on the honor system. So as long as you are being forthright and you're being reasonable with the amount that you put here, you can go ahead and add their income in this first box, which is hugely important. The next thing you never want to do is put anything other than employed. You want to be gainfully employed, okay? So under employment status, you have several options. You have employed, self-employed, unemployed. That's terrible, right? You never want to be unemployed. It means you have no income. Retired, and student, and other. So there's really only one good option here. It's employed, because if you pick self-employed, that sends signals to the credit card issuer, Capital One in this case, that you have an unreliable, risky income. Okay, so they can't count on you getting that on a weekly, monthly basis. And so one of the largest things that a credit card issuer or a bank is into is risk management. And so they want to limit their risk exposure. And how they do that is asking you questions like this. Are you employed? Because if you're not, that means you don't know where your next check is coming from. You don't know where your income is going to be coming from week to week. And if you don't know that, then how are you going to pay them back when you borrow money? You know what I mean? So employed it's immensely important. You definitely want to be checking employed. If you're self-employed, here's what you can do. You can actually make sure that you are running accurate books and you have your business formed as an LLC or what have you. You want to talk to your tax advisor about that. And you want to be paying yourself an actual paycheck. And so that makes you a W-2 employee with pay stubs that you can show, if ever asked, to any lender. And it says that you are an employee and you have a regular paycheck that's coming from your business, even though you're self-employed. And so what I use for my business, Barton Media, is I used InkFile to form my LLC and file as an S Corp tax designation. And I use Gusto to make it super easy. It takes like 90 seconds to run payroll if I do it manually. And I can even set it up to run automatically so I can be completely hands off. But I use Gusto to run my payroll. And so in that situation, I can generate my own pay stubs myself. I can show that to any lender to qualify for a home, for a credit card, a car loan, anything. And that legitimizes my business, giving me extra indicators that this is a legit business. And it also tells them that I have regular paychecks coming and I'm not a risky borrower. So the next thing you want to never put on an application like this is you never want to say that you're paying your entire mortgage or rent when you actually are splitting it with somebody. Okay. So if you have a spouse or you have a roommate, you want to just state the amount that you actually pay per month. So if your rent payment is $3,000 a month and you split it 50-50 with your roommate, you want to put that you pay $1,500 a month. And here's the thing, they're using mortgage or rent payment in combination with your annual income to determine your debt to income ratio. And if that ratio is too high, that's going to raise red flags to the lender, Capital One in this case, that you just don't have enough discretionary income at the end of the month to pay your credit card bill. Usually when you're buying a home, you don't want to have a debt to income ratio over like 43%. If you're renting an apartment, it's usually you don't want to have anything over 33%. So just imagine for the credit card issuer, if you're up in the 50s or 60s, that's going to be huge red flags there. The next thing you never want to put on these applications is you don't want to say that you'll basically spend no money on the card. That defeats the purpose of the bank and credit card issuer existing. They want you to spend money on the card. Reason being is they earn a lot of their profit and their revenue from interchange fees. And those are the fees that they charge the merchant every time you swipe that card. Okay. And those can be anywhere from 1% to 3%. So the more that you're swiping the card, they're always getting a small percentage of all those transactions, regardless of if you pay annual fees, late fees, or interest payments. So they want you using the card more. So really the credit card issuer wants you spending a lot of money responsibly. Okay, they want to see you spend a lot of money, but still in a responsible, like a Goldilocks zone. So the way that I attack this is that I like to say I'm going to spend at least 30% of the available credit limit. So if your limit is $1,000, for example, then you want to say you're going to spend at least $300 of that per month. Okay. And from my experience, credit card issuers who do want to see a lot of spend, they like to see you spending between 30, 40, or 50% before they even give you an automatic increase on their own. So they want to see some high percentage spending of that available limit. And they also want you to pay it off. Okay. Because they don't want to, lose money on that, on those transactions. So the next question is, what is your maximum desired credit limit? And so here you never want to put a low maximum desired credit limit. You always want to be at the top end of what that credit card will allow you to get as an available limit. And so for the Capital One Quicksilver card, for example, they'll give you a maximum of $25,000 for most people. For the Venture X, which I have here, I'm a Venture X card holder, they'll give you up to $30,000 of available credit. So when I'm requesting a limit increase, I'm always asking for $30,000. Even if I had a $10,000 limit, I would still ask for $30,000. Now, why is that? Because they're going to counter offer you with the amount that they really want to give you. This is really just a behavioral question, and they're not going to deny you even if you ask for a lot of money on your limit. They're just going to counter offer you with whatever their max limit increase they're comfortable with giving you. And so usually Capital One, they'll give you a maximum of $1,000 for an increase and a minimum of like $100 if you're in their bucket on the Quicksilver side. You don't want to be shy here. You want to ask for more. Ask for the moon. You might just receive it. That's the saying. And so you always want to ask for as much as possible. And they're just going to counter offer you. If you're eligible, they're going to give it to you. And so here's another behavioral question for you. Why are you requesting this credit limit increase? You never want to choose an option other than I expect higher expenses over the next few months. That's the only option that you want to choose. And why is that? Because let's say you choose, I have a large upcoming one-time purchase. Well, that means that you are only going to be using that increased credit line one time. They want you using that for the entire length of time that you have the card. They want you using that consistently month after month, year after year. So that's not going to work. If you choose, my current line doesn't meet my long-term spending needs. Well, the key phrase here, key word is long-term, long-term. that means that you're not ready for that increased limit yet. Maybe over the long term, maybe over a year or two, you might get to a point where you need an increased limit, but not right now. They want you, if they're going to give you a higher limit and increase their risk exposure, they want a good return on that. And that means that you're going to immediately start spending more on the card. So the only option I will ever pick here is I expect higher expenses over the next few months. That means that I need an increase right now over the next few months at least, okay? And my expenses are going to be increased and it's going to last for multiple months, all right? So they can expect for you to start spending on that card at an increased rate right now, and it will extend over the course of 3, 6, 9 months. Who knows? It could be longer. And so that's what they want to see. I'm actually going to use the Venture X right after I film this video because I'm going to have to travel with the family, go down south. So if you want to sign up for the Venture X card, like the one I have, hit the link below. I'll have access to it and you can learn more about it. It comes with a 75,000 mile sign up bonus still. So it's going to be equivalent to about $750 in travel. I even added my wife as an authorized user, so she gets benefits. So definitely recommend that card. Also, if you want to increase your credit limit, not once, not twice, but 3 times over the course of a few months, then check out this video where I show you the strategies that I use to do just that. Thank you for watching.